Now is the time for signing of the MOU and exchanging the MOU on behalf of the Indira Gandhi Technological and Medical Sciences University and Dr. Tanmay Rudra from Kolkata. Please come. I would like to request Dr. Markandeya Rai, the Chancellor, and Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Utkar Sharma, to be there to get photographed. Kolkata to attract bright students from West Bengal and the neighboring states for their studies and research in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Three-minute series. We have to stick to time as the awards are going to be presented very soon. So we would like the respected speakers to be brief and limit their talk within 3 minutes. The first speaker under this series is the learned principal of College of Vocational Studies, Professor Indrajit.
Professor Priya Trivedi ji, respected ladies and gentlemen of the dais and on the dais, and my dear students from schools and colleges. At the very outset, I would like to convey my best wishes to Professor Trivedi on his 70th birthday, and wish that he live long and keep on guiding and dedicating himself to the society. I know you have been here for such a long time, so I will take only a few minutes here. Being an educationist for last 30 years, I would like to make a few brief comments about value education. Even though we talk of value educations in our seminars, in workshops and discussions, but unfortunately, till date, the value education system has not been made an integral part of our education system, neither in the schools nor in the colleges. So there is a need, urgent need, that we have to think about how to integrate value education with our education system. They cannot be two parts, there has to be one part only. Secondly, the value education systems come from where? It comes from the family, it comes from our educational institutions, it comes from the society, it comes from the political system, it comes from the economic system, and it comes from the global system also nowadays. Joint family system was there earlier, which is no more there. Joint family system used to teach us the value of teamwork, the value of complementing each other rather than competing with each other. Now it's no more there. Our education system is totally based on the placement. Higher education systems, which college we prefer? We prefer a college which can help our child to get a good job with good pay package. Do we think of an education institution which is providing value education to our children? It's not there. And we also have to keep on one thing in mind, that the value system does not remain constant. If anyone feels that the value should remain to be same, it cannot happen. The values are dynamic systems, they keep on changing. But when I say changing, I am referring to the secondary values, but the core values should remain to be there. There's no harm if the secondary values change, but there's a harm if the core value system of India changes and it's replaced by some other values. We are not against development, we are not against adopting the good values, but unfortunately, we have been sacrificing our core Indian values. This is a concern of everyone. And all of us will have to think about it as to how we can facilitate, we can help in retaining the good core Indian values and allow our students and children to go for adjustments. Adjustment has to be there. We cannot remain to be static. And one more point I would like to mention here. When a children is there, a student is there, who can be his role model? Maybe his parents, maybe his teachers, maybe a political leader, maybe an economist, maybe an actor, and so on. But again, if the role models are not available, or if the role models themselves are engaging in activities which of course are not good for the society, then of course it's again a problem. So we cannot blame our children only for the generation gap. Actually, the whole system has been responsible for the same, and we have to think about how to retain our core Indian values, and if you can do it, we will be successful in the same. So thanks a lot for listening to me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Professor Indrajit, for your good ideas. It is a very pertinent issue as to how to really mix value education with vocationalization. So it will be a pleasure for us to visit your college after the corona syndrome is over, and then we come there and address the students and the teachers. Thank you. Friends, we have with us Honorable Sri S.D. Rai Sahab, who is the greatest spiritualist of our country. We invite him to briefly address us.
All, I'd like to extend my heartiest congratulations and felicitation to Dr. Ranjan Trivedi ji, whom I have been associated with for the last plus 20 years. He is senior to me. I am elder than him. You can understand. How a person can be senior to me, to whom I am an elder. देखिए, बुद्धि से ज्ञान से श्रेष्ठ हुआ जाता है और उम्र से ज्येष्ठ हुआ जाता है। बात समझ में आ रही है? कंप्यूटर का युग है, जब आप पढ़ते हैं गार्बेज इन और गार्बेज आउट, how are you expecting when your whole emphasis and thrust of your education is on money making and you are seeking result as a money making? How? It's impossible. जिस नीति की बात कर रहे हैं, ethics, morality की, moral education की, my education starts from there where it ends, where all morality and ethics and my value education starts at that. That is spiritual science. I teach spiritual science. I am a professor of physics, a material science or natural science, but I teach spiritual science. There is no remedy for conflict all over except spiritualism. The remedy for all conflict and problem solving is your business also and mine too. And we are interested in conflict resolution world over. There has not been even a single point of time in the history. I am not a student of history, but I have known the history, ancient history, as my cursory reading. कभी भी आप प्रारंभिक से आप एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री पढ़ लेंगे और आज तक कभी भी विश्व में शांति तो नहीं रही है और शांति की ढूंढ में सब लोग लगे हुए और शांति मिलती नहीं है. क्यों? Why the peace and world peace has been so elusive despite all efforts being put into this direction? Why we are not able to establish a peaceful world order? ये मेरे पास आइए ना, मैं रोज पढ़ाता हूँ, जिसको चाहिए मेरा नंबर ले लीजिएगा. रोज 9 बजे से 10 बजे तक वैल्यू एजुकेशन पढ़ाता हूँ. आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद, बधाई त्रिवेदी साहब को. मैं 3 मिनट से ज़्यादा लिया हूँ तो मेरे को माफ कर दीजिए. थैंक यू.
Dr. S.D. Rai Sahab, you have really spoken the truth and completed your address within 3 minutes.
dais, guests, all the students. I represent my colleagues and students who have come from Kirodimal College. And the fact that we are here this afternoon is evidence of the fact that we give some importance to value education. We have traveled a fairly long distance. We've left the work we were doing, and we've come here with the expectation to learn how to integrate what is known as value education with our learning and teaching schedule that we have in college. I didn't realize I must accept it's our limitation that we were ignorant of the work of Professor Trivedi or the group that he represents. We've never actually had any interaction with the group. And still we came thinking that we will learn how to take value education to our colleagues and students. There will perhaps be another day when we will interact again and actively try and participate and learn that. I see some of my other friends from other colleges also, and I believe that they came with the same expectation. As far as the value education is concerned, you see, it is such an abstract and ephemeral kind of quality that we cannot pinpoint which is the value and which is the source of value and who is to take responsibility of communicating this value. As far as education is concerned, school education and especially higher education, I think the expectations of society is quite complex. What does society expect from higher education? Institutions of higher education. Do they expect institutions of higher education to bring out well-rounded personalities? Do they expect Institute of Higher Educations to bring out employable graduates? Patriotic, affectionate, sensitive? It's a very tall order. I think we also have to be a little clear, we as members of society, what is it that we give to higher education and what do we expect from it? All my colleagues here, none of them have been in the teaching learning process for less than 20 years, I think. We've seen through almost 3 generations. I have been involved in education for more than 38 years. And we are still learning. However, I do think that while there are a lot of gaps, and we know the gaps better than anyone else, but we are the stakeholders, our children are the stakeholders, students are our children. There are gaps, but I also think there is a lot we need to celebrate. In 1947, there were 20 universities, less than 500 colleges. The number of women students in higher education was negligible. We today have 40,000 colleges, more than 500, in fact closer to much more than 500 universities. But still, our enrollment ratio is only 24%. Between the age of 18 and 35, only 24% of people enter the universities, the portals of higher education. Yet, the expectation from higher education are unreal. Our college, Kirodimal College, and it is not exceptional, it's not an exception. It was built for 1200 students. Today we have 5,500 students in the college. It is a fact of celebration because it is an expansion of higher education. But it is also a cause of worry because our infrastructure has not kept up with the increase in the number of our students. I think higher education owes a lot to the society, and the society owes a lot to higher education.